Things you do not want to do when you're buying a home. Hi, I'm Aaron Zapata, your co-host.
I'm Todd Anderson, your other co-host.
And we are the Bald Brothers team, and you are listening to the All Things Real Estate podcast, and we've got a lot of great things to cover today.
And for those of you who are listening on the radio, it's the All Things Real Estate show.
That's right. And Todd, what are we going to talk about today?
Today, we want to talk about things that you do not want to do. Let me emphasize the word not. You do not want to do when you're purchasing a home. Things that can ruin your ability to either secure financing, get into the home.
That's right. And we want your comments. We want your feedback on whether or not you think it's a good idea and if it's going to be producing increased safety in your neighborhood. So we'll talk about an interesting article that and a new law that Gavin Newsom just passed.
And stay tuned for it because it does relate to real estate in a way.
It does. The whole article was these neighborhoods or these cities are now safer, and safety is a big deal. But before we do all that today, we want to remind you to head over to our website at baldbrothers.tv, baldbrothers.tv. We've got some great sponsors there and some people that have partnered with us to make the show possible. Namely, we've got Beacon Escrow and Crosswalk Mortgage, plus some other affiliates there. So please head over there, and if you would like to be a part of what we're doing here, reach out to us as well. You can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-BALD.
Yep. Over the weekend, I was telling somebody our name, the Bald Brothers, and they thought we were the Bold Brothers. Bold. I said, we are bold and bald.
That's right.
But 833-305-BALD, not BOLD.
That's right.
Alrighty.
This weekend was an interesting weekend. We hosted an open house at a property that is in the millions. And normally you would expect that perhaps traffic flow through there, number of people coming through would be reduced.
Less because of the purchase price, yeah.
It was busy. It was very busy. Beautiful home with lots of upgrades and a view and a pool, everything you'd expect in the millions price range. But it was busy, Todd. I was exhausted. I was there 2 days for 2.5 to 3 hours each, and I don't think I had more than 30 minutes when nobody was in the home between those 2 days.
So you're tired and cranky today, is that what you're saying?
I am a little tired and cranky. So just to say that the market here as we head into the end of 2023 is still going strong. Yeah,
it does continue to move. And so the market is always changing. It's always shifting. It's a different market today than it was a year ago. But as we said in a previous episode, regardless of where interest rates are, the market continues to move. And that brings us to kind of a point of today's topic is the market continues to move. And one of the essential parts of the market is lending and the ability to get a loan. Most home buyers are purchasing with a purchase assist loan, also known as a mortgage. And there are certain things.
That's a funny way to put that, Todd. They're purchasing with assistance called a purchase assist loan, a mortgage. I don't think I've ever heard it called that. Where did you get that from?
I don't know. It makes sense. A purchase assist loan.
It does.
We've got creative ways of saying everything.
We do.
I don't know if that's a PC way of saying mortgage. Maybe I invented something.
I don't know what you made up, but I like it. So we'll go with it. We have buyers that are buying with lending. When buyers are buying with lending, it creates a unique situation that you absolutely have to be aware of, because if you do certain things, you're going to be rejected, even if you've got your offer accepted, even if you've done your inspections, you've done the appraisal, and you could be right at the finish line, and lo and behold, they revoke the mortgage that they were going to give to you. That'd be a terrible spot to be in.
Yep.
But having done this for over 20 years, we've seen quite a few crazy stories, and so we wanted to give that information to you today.
Yep. And we work with primarily sellers, but we also do work with buyers as well. And by the way, working with sellers, it's important to know the psychology of what happens and the maneuvering of what happens with buyers as well. So let's get right into it. By the way, in case you're just tuning in, we are All Things Real Estate Show. And we are talking about all things real estate. You can reach us at 833-305-BALD, and you can also go to baldbrothers.tv. So, things not to do when buying a home. Number one. What's number one, Aaron?
Do not spend more money. Okay, meaning that when you are in the process of buying a home and you show a bank account that has, let's say, 80 or 100 or even more money in it, and you are going to use that for your down payment, you're going to use that for your good faith deposit, you need to make sure that that money's still there when you close.
Yeah.
Because lenders have what's called a reserve requirement. They need to know that you have money left over. Like you can't close escrow with your last dime.
Yep.
You need to have money left over in the bank to make the payments. And until that deal closes, you have to keep it there.
Yeah.
So don't spend extra money.
Yeah.
Now, Todd, why would people spend extra money?
Well, hey, moving into a home, there's a lot of expenses that go into it, right?
That's right, because the mover calls and says, I need a $5,000 deposit.
Yeah. Or you're I gotta get the curtains that match the carpeting. I've got to, people have, and all of those things are fine, but you got to wait until you've actually got full approval on the loan before you move forward with those things. Yeah.
Because if your reserve funds are no longer in the bank, they can revoke the loan because you don't have final approval until the loan is funded.
Yeah.
So
now there's a practical side to that doesn't have to do with securing the loan. That's just practical of you don't want to be house poor either. You don't want to end up moving into a home and literally having no more money to be able to do anything.
Correct.
So that's a separate issue.
Correct. Now, we're not giving any mortgage advice, by the way.
That's right.
We're just talking about some of these things that we've learned as realtors. The number two on the list of what not to do. Do not open a
credit card.
That's
no new credit cards.
No new credit cards. Do not do it, because if you are going to get a credit card, they're going to make the assumption that you're going to go buy something and increase your borrowing, and you can't have multiple new borrowing things going on.
Yeah,
that's very layman terms.
Your loan is being pre-approved based off of your credit profile, and doing anything to change that profile can significantly alter your ability to borrow.
And that includes number 3, which is don't make big purchases like appliances.
That's right.
We are heading into the holiday season right now. You have a lot of, day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday sales that start happening on November 1st, and perhaps you're in escrow and you walk into Home Depot and you see that $4,000 refrigerator is now on sale for $2,900, but you have to put it on a Home Depot credit card.
12 months, same as cash.
That's right.
0% interest.
Yeah,
you can't turn that down.
No,
that's wise stewardship.
Yeah, and they don't even tell you, but you might be opening a credit card with Home Depot. And so don't do it. Don't make those big purchases.
There's a second part of this. Don't make those big purchases that would affect your credit. But there's a second part of this is, let's say you're paying cash for it, and it's a significant. Let's say you're buying a car for $30,000. That is a large chunk of change leaving your bank account, and that's going to lead to a different one of ours. So stick a pin in that. We'll come back to that one.
What's our next one, Todd? Number 4 of what not to do.
I didn't see it's on the list. Yes. Don't buy or lease a car.
No new purchases.
Yeah.
When you buy or lease a car, they start looking at that payment, and that dollar for dollar will come off your income. So if you have a new $700 a month car payment, or very common these days to have $1,000 a month car payment, you are going to be deducted that from your income. So if they've already worked out all your income qualifications to make sure you can afford the loan, and now all of a sudden you have a $1,000 payment coming off of the top, they're going to deduct that from your income, and it could remove the ability for you to buy that house.
Yep.
Here's the deal. If you're going to buy a car, buy it the day after you buy your home.
That's right.
Because any dealership will give you a car loan once you own a house.
That's right.
That's like the precursor to getting a good
if you're going to have an auto loan, you're going to probably have a better interest rate.
That's right. So buy the car after you buy the house. Do not buy it while you're in escrow.
Now, the next one is on the flip side. Don't sell a car. So, Aaron, explain how that might affect your ability.
Well, oftentimes if you're selling a vehicle and you have had a payment on it, they're going to make the assumption that you're going to buy a new vehicle. And so, again, you're making significant changes to your financial picture.
That's right.
So you don't want to make any major changes. Now, if this is an old car that you're going to make $2,000 from, that you've been sitting in your driveway for a long time, no big deal. If you're going to do that, we're going to add this as the very end, but we're going to talk about what happens if you get a lot of cash in.
Yes.
Because that also, you're going to need to be careful if you get a lot of cash.
If you get a lot of cash and put it in a bag and stick it under your mattress, don't let the bank know.
That's right. That's right. So
we'll get to that.
That's right. So don't sell a car. Number 6 on our list.
Yes. Get a new job.
Why wouldn't I want a new job,
What
Todd?
what if you got a new job that's got a pay raise? That's a good thing, right? Well, the thing is, lenders are looking for continuity of employment, and they're going to do something called a VOE, verification of employment. And if it's a brand new job, there's no guarantee that the lender has that you're going to have continuation in that job. It's a brand new job. Right. What if you don't like the employer, or what if the employer doesn't like you? And so lenders are looking for something that they can count on as a guarantee. Mm-hmm. And if you have a long employment, that's a good thing. But if you've got a brand new job, that's going to significantly impact how you look to a lender.
And coming up on number 7 on our list, head over to Bald Brothers TV. Number 7 on our list is coming. But before we do that, go to baldbrothers.tv, and we would love to share with you more about what we do. You can listen to all of our podcast episodes there. You can also subscribe to our newsletter. Todd has finished doing a hard look at our new book coming out, How to Sell a Home As Is. He's done some final edits. I'll make those changes, and that will be on Amazon soon. But before it goes to Amazon, we would love to send a digital copy to you. So go subscribe to our e-newsletter on our website at baldbrothers.tv,
baldbrothers.tv, and you can also call us at 833-305-BALD, 833-305-BALD. Okay, let's get to number 7.
Do not give notice at your current job.
That is correct, even if you're still working there, because remember I said just a moment ago, verification of employment. That lender is going to contact your employer and verify that you're employed there. And if they have a notice, the HR department has a notice in file that you've given your notice, they will say, yes, he works here, but not for long.
Yeah, because one of the questions they do ask on the verification of employment is, what is the likelihood of continued employment?
Yep.
And if you've just given your notice, they will say no likelihood. The dude or the lady is quitting. And so we want you to make sure that you do not have any change in your employment.
Yep.
You know, Todd, I do get questions from people that do say, hey, but I'm changing jobs and I'm going to be getting a better job, and I'm going to be, and it's hard because you want to take the advancement. But it could destroy the deal. And so sometimes the best course of action that we could recommend to a buyer is to say, I love the fact that you're getting a new job. Is there any way you can negotiate to start in a month or 2 so we can get your deal closed?
Yeah.
Now, if you have not got your offer accepted and you did give notice and you are getting a new job, again, pause writing offers until you're until you've got the new job secure. And that's okay. That's okay, Todd. There's a continuity there.
Yeah.
Continuity meaning there's a continuous employment. Okay. Don't do it while you're in escrow.
Yeah.
Don't make that change. We have ongoing clients in my company, Impact Properties, right now that we hear that happening. One of our buyers, not one of you and my buyers that we're working with directly, but indirectly through the company, that gave their 2-week notice. Well, I got a new job.
Yep.
Yikes. Yikes. It could blow the deal.
Yep.
So that's number 7. Don't give notice at your current job. If you got a good job, even if you don't like it, stick with it through the end of escrow.
Yep. And number 8's kind of hard, but it's practical. Number 8 is do not go on vacation where you cannot communicate.
Super important.
Do not go into the Amazon rainforest without a satellite phone.
Can you go on Amazon?
You can go on Amazon, but not into their rainforest.
Okay.
The rainforest department is off limits.
That's right. Do not do that. Now, here's the big deal. You're going to be asked to provide very important information, and you're going to have to sign loan documents at some point before you close.
Yeah.
And it needs to be notarized and signed prior to closing with a verified notary.
Yep.
So if you're in a foreign country and loan docs come out, and you're supposed to close in 3 days, you ain't closing in 3 days.
So if you do go to the Amazon rainforest, satellite phone with a good internet connection, and bring a notary with you.
That's right. Travel notary.
And bring the printed out paper documents. All right, we're getting a little bit silly here, but there's a practical element to that. And, even if you are a cash buyer and you're not securing a loan, there's a practical application to that as well.
For sure. For sure. Just communicate. I mean, we have some buyers right now that are going on a cruise and notary not available.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad that they gave me a heads up that they're doing this, because we had to scramble and we had to get a notary to go meet them at like basically the hotel where the cruise is originating before they hop on the ship.
Yep.
So a couple hours before they got on that ship, the buyer was the
seller
the
signed.
seller was there, the notary was there, getting stuff documented. So super important. Pause vacations if you're in the middle of an escrow.
Yep.
I hate to say that, but sometimes buying the house needs to come as a priority.
Yep. That's going to be an issue. Plan the vacation for after close of escrow.
That's right.
Okay, let's see. We are at number 9.
Before we go number 9, can I just say, if you're on vacation, you do have a tendency to spend a lot of money.
Yes.
Right? And you have a tendency to rack up your credit card ratios. Because, okay, he said don't spend money, but we're going to go out and we're going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on credit card. And all of a sudden your next credit card comes in and your minimum payment went from $280 a month all of a sudden to $490. Again, causes issues.
I'm glad you threw that in there. All of these kind of tie in together.
That's right. Number 9.
Number 9, do not switch lenders midstream. And this is something that happens all too often in the middle of escrow. And we understand because, hey, lender A gives these rates and lender B has much better terms. And I'd much rather be with lender B. But that could, first of all, it's going to change the effect of your escrow. It's going to make things last longer, but it also is not a guarantee as well.
Well, and let's just talk about some of the legalities of that.
Yes.
Okay. The buyer writes an offer with a pre-approval letter from a specific lender.
And they've submitted that as part of the offer. And when the seller has agreed to take this buyer, it's based off of the information that's been given, which is this lender. Go ahead.
And so sometimes the buyers think, well, I can switch lenders, no problem. Technically, the seller needs to approve that change.
That's right.
Have we ever had a seller not say yes? No, the seller's like, we just want the deal closed.
Want the deal closed.
So it doesn't become like an actual problem in real life, but from a contractual standpoint, that seller can say, no, you need to close with that lender because it's part of the contract.
It is. The proper way is to notify the seller and then have it all documented.
Correct.
That there's a change being made and the seller acknowledges that change in the lender.
Yeah. And so you may find a lender that has better terms and better rates and better everything. The hard part with doing that is usually that will delay the process.
Yeah.
Most buyers do not know this, and you should know this if you're looking at a home, that if you have already paid for a credit report, you've already paid for an appraisal, and then you decide to switch lenders, that you might have to go through that whole new process again, another credit report and another appraisal, because most appraisals are not transferable. And so you just have to stick with the lender. But I'm not getting the best rate, Aaron. Yeah, I know. But it is the lender you chose. And perhaps you should vet out your lenders a little bit more cautiously the next time.
Yeah. We actually had this happen recently on a transaction that we were handling. And it actually created a problem for the seller because the seller had a very unique situation in terms of their finances. And the seller, it might have affected their ability to purchase their replacement property.
Right.
And so the buyer on their property, switching lenders midstream, really put the seller in jeopardy for the replacement property. Now, it ended up being okay, but that's just another example of how that can significantly impact a deal.
And all of these things are coming from the viewpoint that we recognize that both buyer and seller want to get to the closing line.
Yeah.
Everybody does. There's a little bit of negotiation, back and forth for repairs and things like that. But reality is that everybody wants to get to the finish line.
Everybody has the same goal.
That's right. That's right. So the last one here on our list, and then I've actually thought of a couple more, Todd. So the last one that we had written is do not deposit large amounts of money into your bank account.
Yeah. And that goes back to where I said earlier, just put the cash in a bag under your mattress. I was joking. But the fact is, and that's counterintuitive because it sounds like, hey, that should be better. A lender sees that you have more money. But what it is showing is abnormalities in your financial picture. And lenders, like I said earlier, do not like things that are unknown and uncertain, and that would be an abnormality. You suddenly deposit $50,000 into your bank account, and it's not accounted for in your regular income.
Yeah.
That changes. That scares the lender.
They want to know where it came from, and then you have to document the source because they're going to make the assumption that any larger deposit is an additional loan. And so, that begs the question, well, what if somebody is giving me $50,000 to buy my house? That can be a gift,
Yes.
and that money should go direct to escrow at closing with a verification of deposit and a letter and everything that the lender needs to approve beforehand.
And we've had this situation before where buyers have said, hey, my aunt is gifting me $40,000. Should I deposit into my account? No. What you do is you submit a gift letter, which acknowledges that there's gift amount, and then, of course, that will be deposited into
And I'm going to throw a little bit of an asterisk in there, like a caveat that says if you are buying in 6 months and somebody's going to give you money, is it okay to receive that gift today into my account? Yes. The bank is going to ask for 2 months of bank statements when they're doing your pre-approval, and that deposit has to have been in there at the beginning before that second bank statement.
That's right.
And still there. So it can't be the 2 bank statements, and on that very oldest one, it shows the deposit. No, it has to be made in the 3rd month prior to be considered seasoned funds, meaning that money's in your account, it stayed there, it's always been there. They only look back 2 months. So if you're going to get a deposit, make it way before you're going to get your home. But it doesn't have to be $50,000, Todd.
Yeah.
Back in the crash when the market tanked, I had a client who had a birthday party and they don't carry cash. And so they had $200 and they went and deposited $200. He had to sign a letter that said that was not a loan.
Wow.
That wasn't a private loan. So I'm talking anything that's abnormal.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just, if you get cash for any reason, just hold on to it until after you close the transaction.
So really the rule of thumb with all of this is you want to take a visual snapshot of your financial situation. If you were to take a Xerox copy, that's old school, snapshot, a screenshot, if you will, of your financial situation, and you really want nothing to change, nothing abnormal until after you've actually successfully closed escrow.
That's right. And these are just common mistakes. The obvious, don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't commit fraud. Don't, pretend you have a job that you don't, right? There's all these things. Do not do those things. But these are just common mistakes that people don't think about.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to advise you on.
Yep.
So if you are thinking about buying a property right now, investing on a property, we want to talk to you at the Bald Brothers. You can call us at 833-305-BALD. Again, that's 833-305-BALD. Or you can go to our website at baldbrothers.tv, and you can listen to all of our episodes there. You can subscribe to our newsletters. We'd love to talk with you about the buying and selling process. And so before we wrap it up here today, let's talk about a couple of things real quick.
Can we talk about them real quick? Let's see what we can do. Okay. Fun fact right now is in 4 cities in California, 3 cities in Southern California, Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Glendale just got safer. Do you know why?
Why, Tom?
Because speed cameras are coming in 2024.
Woohoo! Speed cameras. Now, these are not your red light cameras.
Yeah.
Now, they're actually cameras that they're installing on streets where they can track your speed limit. And if you've gone over the speed limit, they're just going to mail you a check. Mail you a
bill,
ticket.
a ticket, yeah,
so that you can send them a check. In the mail. It's going to be ticket by mail.
Yeah.
Do you feel safer? Do you feel like it's an invasion of your privacy? Would you want that in your street?
Yeah.
That's the question that we want to leave you with
That's the question. So we want to hear from you. Does that make you feel safer? Do you like that? Is that better for your community? Is that better for your property value?
Does that add value if you have that speed ticket right in front of your house? We want to hear back from you on that. So please, by all means, head to our website, send us an email, give us a call, let us connect, and we can get your feedback.
Yep. And we're out of time, so we'll get to that next one at the next episode.
That's right. So thank you for listening today. God bless. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the All Things Real Estate Show. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Impact Properties, Inc., licensed by the California Department of Real Estate number 019222671. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice, and we do encourage you to seek the advice of the proper professionals. If you'd like to reach us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.